Hi, and good morning, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy morning to join me. I really do appreciate it. I want to talk about Glo Rilla and Space X. That's what we're talking about this morning. So, I hope that you guys had a really good night, and everything is peachy for you, you know? I mean, I have nothing for you this morning, you feel me? I could barely put my own clothes on this morning, you know what I mean? But it's nice to be with you guys, you know? Seriously. I ended up picking out a bunch of different kinds of clothes, you know? I hate looking like other people, you feel me? Just like FYI, you know, if you ever catch me in some like funky outfit, you know, it's just because I don't want to look like anyone else. And I think that's pretty clear. But, you know, for the record, I'm just saying that your boy be going through great lengths here to, like, try to make himself look as funky as freaking possible sometimes. Just so that we're all clear, you know? I figure, like, the funkier I dress, the more people are likely to stay away from me, you know? IRL, they'll be like, oh, that boy, he's got style, but definitely not a conversational piece in and of itself. Like, he might be, but not, you know, as a part of the conversation. Anyways, I'm fine with that. I got a bunch of these hats. I'm telling you guys, my hat game comes clean, you know? Seriously, I told you, I have, like, many different kinds of caps and hats. Headgear, you feel me? It goes deep. But, now, we're gonna be talking about Glo Rilla. Recently, I've been listening to some music, you know, on the YouTube playlist, and Glo Rilla popped off. We're only 2 minutes into this speech, and I feel like I have really not 8 minutes more to give you guys, but we're going to try anyway, because I don't have too much material for Glo Rilla. I just know that Glo Rilla is sick. Like, and not, you know, like medically sick. But you know what I mean. I don't know why I explained that, but I really don't want to reshoot this video either, so we're just gonna have to deal with whatever comes out of my mouth right now, so I gotta be real careful, you know? That's the other thing, is like, you make these impromptu talks, and, you know, it's not just articulating what you don't know is gonna come say out of your mouth, but like also that it's not anything too wild, you know? We're talking about Glo Rilla. I really like Glo Rilla. Every song I've heard by Glo Rilla, shout out, you feel me? Reminds me of old school Nicki Minaj. Alright, there's some talking points. I'm a huge fan of female rap. Like, don't come at me like that. I've been listening to Nicki Minaj since, like, seriously, like, freshman XL 2008, 2007. Nicki Minaj is old, alright? Like, I don't think she's old as a person. She's probably about as old as me. She's probably younger than me, you feel me? I just turned 55 yesterday, so everybody be tripping. I think I look good for 55. Anyways, that's not true. None of that is true. I'm not 55 years old. Anyway, but we're still talking about Glo Rilla and female rappers, and how I used to mess with Nicki Minaj. She's got some of the best bars ever, you feel me? I mean, I'm a modern dude, you know? I be messing with Cardi B and Spicy Icy, or Icy Spicy, or whatever. Spice Not Nice. Spice Girl. What's her name? I like that girl. She's cool too. I don't like the fart song, you know? Seriously. I mean, it's a meme, I understand, but it's so bad that you need to talk about it, you feel me? So that nothing ever made that bad again. Seriously, not a cool song. Not a cool song. It's in fact a terrible song, and in fact makes me not like rap. But we're gonna talk about other female rappers. Oh, my girl Cardi B, you know? Megan Thee Stallion, is that's a rapper? She came up on my playlist. It was sounding pretty cool, you know? But out of all of them, honestly, Glo Rilla is my personal recommendation. In fact, I'm gonna go out of my way and put a link in the description below to my favorite Glo Rilla song, alright? So I encourage you guys to check it out. This is one of those days where I'm really trying to stay on topic, but I don't have too much to say other than SpaceX is a Ponzi scheme. So's the entire world's economy. But anyways, SpaceX in particular isn't the government, you know? So they're not allowed to do that stuff. How else would you run a government, you know? How else would you run the world? Like, if not a Ponzi scheme, you know? I mean, seriously, I don't know of any other solution. I mean, I do, but they require, like, a ton of work, a lot of infrastructure, and a lot of willingness to cooperate. And currently, we don't really have any of those things, especially the last part, the willingness to cooperate. As a socialist, I stand before you to just let y'all know that it's really important to cooperate, okay? And nothing can ever get done unless we cooperate. So, as much as your boy here likes flying solo, you know, like, seriously, even I know that I gotta sit at the table and break bread, you know? Like, that's customary. I'm a human being. This is what we do, you feel me? Like, I don't know. So, SpaceX is a Ponzi scheme, and all of the people who put in all of the money, it was the highest ever retail available stock. These guys, these crooks went out of their way to lower thresholds on what otherwise would have been minimum balance ledger accounts to buy the SpaceX IPO at like 150 or whatever, and now it's at like probably by the time you read this, you know, it's gonna be like that movie Fun with Dick and Jane, you feel me? Only instead of that other guy that actually had some character and class, it's gonna be Elon Musk, you feel me? If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, then you don't know, but you should go watch it, you feel me? Because it has Jim Carrey on screen, you know, and they're interviewing him, and like the CEO is walking away, Alec Baldwin, and anyways, let's talk about SpaceX and how Elon Musk is currently asking the government for a bailout. Like, what kind of criminals steal from you and then ask for you to replace the item that you stole from them? You feel me? Like, I just gotta say that I think it's a nice try, you know? Seriously? Like, come on now. Good try, Elon. I'm not hating. He tried to get his bag, only he didn't, and now he's probably going to end up owing countless other people smaller bags in some way, shape, or fashion, you know, again, because it's almost as if, you guys know the definition of fascism, right? The old school definition of fascism, because I'm always calling everybody a fascist, you know. let me tell you, you know, my interpretation of the definition of fascism is the collusion of private, corporate, and government interests, right? This is the collusion. Otherwise, I hate to break it to you, honey, but like, there's no winning, okay? When private, corporate, and government interests collude, like, that's price fixing, that's social fixing, that's life fixing, you feel me? That's no room for you to ever be ahead in life. And I feel like the collusion of private people and corporate people and government people is a good example. A good example of that can be found within the SpaceX IPO, because these corporations, these private lenders, literally targeted normal people that had less than a certain amount of money. You shouldn't be spending $10,000 on an IPO stock when all you have is $10,000. You feel me? That's why there are safeguards in place. If you have $100,000 in an account and you're willing to split with 10, like, that's a different thing. You have some coverage, you know? If you lose the 10, you're not completely out of luck. A lot of these retail investors you're going to hear about for the next few weeks took their life savings, similar to like other different kinds of what are argued as Ponzi schemes, like alt currency. I think that alt currency is not a Ponzi scheme. I think that it can be a deregulatory currency. The math proves that, okay. It's not just an arbitrary opinion. The math proves that. That's why it is a thing. That's why it does exist. It's based on numbers. Like, it's based on a certain principle. There's a finite amount of coins that can be mined, and the price can... It's just a whole thing, you know? But this SpaceX theft of millions of people's life savings is something that will be talked about for a long time, because it's not like he's going to get in trouble for that. They signed up for that. You feel me? Like, they went out of their way to make sure that they wouldn't get in trouble for you losing all of your life savings. Like, that's not it. But what more is the fact that that company in particular is not ever going to make any real money. They're certainly not worth $7 to $30 trillion. I mean, my dude. Like, yeah, my name is Albert, and my net value, my net worth, you feel me? I'm sitting on 50 trill. Like, who says those things, you know? Well, I mean, he does, and, like, the world buys it, but nonetheless, SpaceX, I don't think is going to be around for a very long time. I think it's going to be a terrible idea if SpaceX merges with Tesla or does whatever, you know, but again, I'm sure that'll come soon too, because that's what this guy's doing, all right? Like, I'm not an accountant, but I know a Ponzi scheme when I see one, you know? Seriously, that's all that I'm saying, okay? Lord is my witness. Because it's pretty clear, you feel me? A lot of us live our lives trying to be honest folk, you know? Deliver food, like, wash dishes, you know, bus tables, like, none of that involves, like, mass fraud, you feel me? Or, like, I mean, seriously. So, like, SpaceX, good luck. I hope the investors out there are able to be a part of a company that is around for centuries to come. Alright? Hey guys, thank you very much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. My personal life is going, you know, not much to report, by myself, and listening to Glo Rilla, you know? Like, I'm not sure if something is gonna happen today, but I hope that it does. Like, seriously, it's not gonna be any big deal. We're just gonna be chilling if you happen to watch this video, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. Nor probably should I, like, at all. Like, I'm a dumbass. Okay, anyways, I'm really, as I said in character earlier, you know, like, I'm really trying to process, especially these parts when I'm out of character at the end of each video, just exactly how I say things, you feel me? Just because I have had an interesting week, and you guys know that I'm usually a very open and public person. I went out of my way to make some videos, post them for a few minutes, and then completely just, you know, like, yell it out, you feel me, and unpublish them. So it's been an interesting week, and I hope that today's a good day, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I hope that you guys had a good week. I'm so happy that this week is over, you feel me, and that, like, Saturday is now the new beginning of each week for me. You know what I mean? Just because, again, it's been a rough couple weeks, and I can't stress to y'all enough how, like, much you should listen to your girlfriend and be nice to them and just listen to them, you know? Seriously. I know it's hard sometimes. Trust me. Like, look at this, you know? I don't want to listen to myself sometimes, alright? All that I'm saying is, I'm learning. And I think you guys should too. Because when you want to learn something, it's really easy to learn, you know what I mean? And I wasn't sure, like, I'm so down to learn, you know? Seriously, I wasn't sure if I wanted to, like, ever, but I am. And that's cool. And I hope that you guys have a good day. And listen to your girlfriend. She's probably usually always right. Or friend, or whatever. Whoever you have in your life. You know what I mean? Alright. Bye.